Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha, it's Yahweh Shah. So got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rekat Korash. Dub honors to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all the Israel, ready accepted or not. In a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four winds of the earth, the entire world shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening learning. You few sisters who are listening learning. I'm Isaiah from Jim Messolano Camp coming at you on the lesson in truth, fact, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord, always be edifying. So I titled this lesson, Denounce the food from master, your enemy's table. And as the scriptures say, the Lord give us our daily bread. Now that was a time, I was making the point yesterday, when we was following the ways of the world to the T, the religions, keeping up with the Joneses, whatever a prosperous life looked it like, we was trying to follow it. Well, the Lord said that we was going to go to our enemy for the one of all things. And as I'm making the point, as always, the Lord has drawn the hopeful elect from that. And he said as a matter of fact, what's that, Jeremiah? Let me go to this real quick. The Lord said he was going to draw the remnant from the world, but keep them as using the world, but not abusing it. Because we still gotta deal with this life. So real quick, I want to get this just to make the point. The Lord said he drawing the remnant to him. This is Jeremiah 31:1. And I'm gonna go back to this because the Lord has established a table for us. As King David said, the Lord established a table for us in the presence of our enemies. Well, on this table is everything that we need. As it tell you in Hebrews 6:9, things that accompany salvation, though we does speak. So everything that we need, according to Yahweh Shema Shah, is on this table. So real quick, this is Jeremiah 31:1. At the same time, saith Yahweh, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus saith Yahweh, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. Going into those that is the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness. Even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest, which is the remnant, Yahweh have appeared of old unto me, saying, see, he say, Yahweh have appeared of old unto me. Right? The Lord returned back to us. He hid his face for a while, but he never casted us away. Yahweh have appeared of old unto me, saying, yeah, Jeremiah 31:3, yeah, I have loved thee with the everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. So the Lord has drawn us. Lord willing, we endure to the end. Lord willing, we are the elect number. But the Lord is drawing the remnant back to him and from the ways of the so-called white man. So this word bank, right? And the elder brother, our one from the head of the Alabama camp, brought this out when he was down here the one time. He making a point about this word bank, right? This word bank, when you look at the word bank in entomology online, It's talking about a table. Now, this is the word. It's a bank financial institution, late 15th century, originally money dealers, counter or shop, from old Italian banca, and also from French uh, banque, itself from the Italian word, both meaning table, right? So on this table, let me get this. On this table, in which this table, the word bank go in the table, and they say bench from the Germanic source, such as Old High German bank, bench, money lenders table, right? So this is, and what's supposed to be in the bank is, it say the sum of money, right? Resources, our resources is Yahweh Shema Shai. The Lord has given us the Holy Spirit to tap back into the source. And this is the only source in the universe. What the so-called white man has created is an imaginary source. Like I tell you in 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5, when they say we casting down the word, the truth of Yahweh Shema Shai, the words of the Lord is casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself. So the people trust in imaginary source. So let me pull up this blue letter here. Our source is Yahweh Shema Shai, man. So let me get this in James. See this. James 2 and 14. And I want to make some points real quick because be time for me to pull out soon here. This is James 2 and 14. It reads, what doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say no Salakia? Verse 15. This is James 2 and 15. It reads, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food. And you know now this is spiritual because this ain't talking about being literal naked. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, if any one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warned and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit? Right? So if a person is butt booty naked, right, you're gonna give them some clothes to put on, right? And I'm talking about currently. And if they are destitute of daily food, you're gonna give them something to eat, right? This is a spiritual nakedness. Remember the Lord said in Revelation 16 and 15? Let me get this. Revelation 16 and 15. Because Adam and Eve wasn't literally naked in the garden, man. They were spiritually naked. So like it. Spelled that wrong. Revelations, two ends on this shit. Damn it. Moving too fast. Slow down. Slow down. So Revelation 16 and 15 reads, behold, I come quickly. Salaki, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And our shame was seen. That's why I tell you Revelations 11 in verse 8 it say, and they shall lie, that their body shall lie in the spirit of the city, right? Let's get this. We were spiritually naked. Remember the Lord said that we had to go to the enemy for the one of all things. It say in food and hunger and in nakedness, in food and thirst and in nakedness. That nakedness is talking about us taking a covering of the so-called white man. Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. See, it say, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord also was crucified. Crucified. So our dead bodies, we was what? We was spiritually naked. We was not. This is ain't talking about being physical naked. So in Deuteronomy, and I'm finna build off this, just bear with me. In Deuteronomy 28 and 48, it reads, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. This ain't talking about being butt naked. And in the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. This nakedness is us being dead bodies, spiritually dead, right? So that's what the Lord said this in Isaiah 30:1. And it makes sense, but you just got to know where to go at. You got to know how to put these puzzle pieces together. Isaiah 30:1, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So, being we were spiritually naked. So now, Psalms 23:5, the Lord say this. This is what King David said, thou preparest a table before us in the presence of our enemies, in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, which is his truth, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, my cup runneth over. And now we are being, the cup running over is us being filled with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Rashai. And that's why I say in Matthew chapter 5 and 6, man, them skies is dark out there. And it's pouring down. Matthew 5 and 6, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. That's why I said if a brother or sister be destitute of daily food and naked, see, we were spiritually naked. We was spiritually thirsty. See, we were spiritually hungry. So, just a few precepts I want to get. Because, as King David said, the Lord prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies, right? What's on the table? What's on the table? Matthew 22:1. We all know food go on the table, right? It's Matthew 22:1. And Yahweh shall answer and spake unto them again in parables and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. Well, where's these fatlings and oxen at? He said his dinner. Where's the dinner at? A dinner, once it's prepared, it's on the table. And you sit down, everybody sit down, right? Say grace and you eat. Well, this is the table that the Lord has presented before us in the presence of our enemies, man. And it tell you in Isaiah, let me get this. In Isaiah 35:8. So remember it said, King David said, the Lord prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies, right? So this is Isaiah 35 in verse 7, it reads, and the parched ground shall become a pool. What's part this parched ground is talking about America, Babylon the Great, right? The valley of dry bones in Ezekiel 37. See, we was dry bones, right? We was dead. We were spiritually dead. Spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, we was dead. It say in the parched ground, Ezekiel 37, the valley of dry bones, which is America, and the parched ground shall become a pool. With what? You know, it tell you was that John, uh he that believeth on me, the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. Right? The truth is overflowing now. This is the Lord filleth me, right? When King David said, my cup runneth over. Thou hast anointed me, right? With oil, my cup runneth over. This is the truth. The Lord said the truth shall overturn the earth, man. The Habakkuk 2 and 14. The glory of the knowledge of the Lord shall cover the earth like waters cover the sea. That's the truth. Now here's the colder point. Remember what King David said in Psalm 23, the Lord prepares a table before us in the presence of our enemies, right? In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. So where we living at, amongst the so-called white man, amongst these elites, these Edomites, they can't do nothing about it. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it. 2/3 can't get it. Heathens can't get it. But it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, thou fools shall not err therein. See, the way of holiness, the unclean shall not pass over it. So somebody that's trying to come up against the truth, like Maurice Price and the rest of these slow bellies, they ain't gonna get it, man. They're gonna push Jesus Christ. And the Lord said it in 2 Corinthians 11. It said, if somebody else come to you preaching another Jesus, we just gotta bear with that, man. That's a part of the gospel. That's what the Lord said in 1 Corinthians 11:19. It must be heresies among us, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. Who's approved to teach sound doctrine? So, but the Lord say, this is cold, because and the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. Who was thirsty? The Israelite. Isaiah 44, the Lord said, right? He's going to pour his water upon the seed of Jacob, the seed of Jacob, in the habitations of dragons. Our table has been prepared in the presence of our enemies. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass, reeds, and rushes. Let me read this and see what the translation reads. NLT reads, the parched ground will become a pool, and springs of water will satisfy the thirsty land. Marsh grass and reeds and rushes will flourish where desert jackals once lived. That's crazy. NIV said a burning sand will become a pool, the thirsty ground, bubbling springs in the haunts where jackals once lay, grass and reeds. And what's that? Papyrus will grow. The scorched land will become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. In the haunt of jackals, its resting place, grass become reeds and rushes. So yeah, see, it don't hit like the KJV, but it show you right here in the habitation of dragons, man. We want to receive this truth. That's the Lord preparing the table for us in the presence of our enemies. Now, this is another precept I was thinking about in Psalm 78, because 2/3, when you go to Isaiah 28, right, it said they have made a covenant with death and that hell out of agreement. So this is those same ones in Psalm 78 and 19. This is what they said. When the Lord was feeding us in the wilderness, when we came out of Egypt with Moses, this is what these niggas said. Psalm 78 and 19. Yeah, they spake against God. They said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? See, behold, he smote the rock that the waters gushed out and the streams overflowed. Same thing happened now what it said in Isaiah 35. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people? But see right here, two-third niggas, they spake against God. They said, can God furnish a table in the wilderness? See, nigga want their meal to come sit at the table with forks and spoons and man, the Passover Lord say, eat it in haste, man. Stand up with your shoes on, gird it up, and eat quickly. See, this is Jake want to be comfortable here, man. Nigga want to binge watch Netflix, eat and chill, man. But the Lord prepared the table for the remnant. This is what's that Psalms. See these Jakes that refuse this, just like these guys right here, just like Jake did in Psalm 78 and 19. King David said it, man. Two-thirds don't want to eat from this table. Psalm 69 and 22. Let their table become a snare before them, and that which should have become, and that which should have been for their welfare, let it become a trap. So King David said, let that table become a snare before them. So when you read about this in Isaiah 28 and 7, the Lord literally made two-thirds Jake tables. This truth, it's a snare. Here it is, Isaiah 28 and 7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are they out of the way. And when you read Isaiah 29 and 9, it ain't talking about liquor and wine. The priests and the prophets have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. See, they are out of the way of what? The way of holiness. And Isaiah 35 said, the unclean shall not pass over. They are out of the way through strong drink. See, they can't come on the way of holiness. They err in vision, they stumble in judgment. Remember the Lord said he's gonna be a stumbling block to both the house of Israel, to two-thirds. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness. King David prayed this for two-thirds of Jake, man. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. See, now in Isaiah 29, to prove to you that it said they stumble in judgment, right? It ain't talking about liquor. It ain't talking about drinking some bourbon or some damn tequila or you sipping on wine. This is Isaiah 29 and 9. Stay yourselves in wonder. Cry out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So what are they drunk with then? Colossians 2 and 8. What are they drunk with? The philosophies of the so-called white man. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit after the tradition of men. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, July the 4th, Labor Day, birthday. These are all the traditions of men, man, after the rudiments of the world and not after Mashiach. And to tell you this word rudiments, when you read Ephesians 2 and 1, let's read it. Because remember, the Lord said we had to follow the ways of the enemy. Huh? Yeah, I know. This is Salakia. Ain't mean to yell like that. This is Ephesians 2:1. Oh my goodness, Salakia. Come on here, tighten up. See, we've been following the ways of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Whether 2/3 of our people want to acknowledge it or not, we've been following the ways of the so-called white man. The Lord set them up, the basis of men. Ephesians 2:1, and you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins. He's talking to those that was under the law, where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. Who controlled this world? Don't worry, I'll wait. We know who controls this world. The so-called white man does. The curriculum, everything about the education system, right? They train you up, preschool, Head Start to 12th grade. Then you go to college. They training you up to go work at Lockheed Martin and Boeing, and you working at GE and all these plants that making the vehicles. You making the transformers for all the power, and people work at these companies and they have to get trained up. Who's training you for these things? Who's training you to be a HVAC and a plumber? Who's training you to lay pipes? Right? Who's training you to set up the power grid? The so-called white man. You got to go through their education system, man. Then anybody say anything different, they a fool, man. Where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, and you need contractors. You need those that make blueprints. You need those that's pouring the cement, man. You need those that's building the houses, laying down the asphalt for the streets, the bridges. Come on, man. You all got this going through the so-called white man's system. The Lord designed it that way because it was a punishment to the Israelites. Where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. There's only one way in this world, man. And it's following the way of the so-called white man. You niggas think niggas made Hollywood what it is? Of course. But how do you get the bag? Jake is the salt of the earth, the Lord said in Matthew 5. But Jake getting paid for that salt. The so-called white man controls the resources. His face is on the money. Niggas don't own. I've been seeing it. Michael Jordan with billions and billions of dollars, allegedly. Him and Oprah, allegedly, because their asses got black cards. They can't go take $1 million out of their bank account because it ain't there. But they give all the athletes and they movie stars and actors, they give their asses black cards. So they getting paid for their talents. Michael Jordan don't own none of those freight that come in at the ports. Oprah Winfrey don't own none of that shit. None of them own that, man. These V12 boys, they left a few years ago on the V12 boys. All they ride in is Ferraris and Porsches and Lamborghinis and McLarens and all these $1 million, $500,000 cars, but they don't own none of those freights that come on the port. Those freights that come off those cargo ships. Michael Jordan don't own none of that shit. Oprah Winfrey don't own none of that shit, man. Huh? The so-called white man does, man. So anybody that say no, the nigga came to the camp about maybe a year or so ago, maybe. Nigga talk about nigga would never say. We said, man, who control the government? That nigga said people. What people? Who are they? The niggas don't want to say the so-called white man because they scared they're gonna lose something. Somebody gonna hear them say, oh, the white man do. Well, that's why the Lord raised up our spiritual fathers and our spiritual uncles to let the world know it's the so-called white man's world. Where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience, among whom also we all had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind. It was about mind control, remember? The word government means mind control, control minds, man. But now the so-called white man doesn't control the minds of the whole elect. And we're by nature the children of wrath, even as others. So now the Lord said he prepared a table for us in the presence of our enemies, and he has drawn us to his table, man. This is Jeremiah, not Jeremiah, Job. You got a couple more precepts here. Job 36 and verse 15. And see, 2/3 Jakes don't want to eat from this table, man. And let me get this word here too. Let me get it from the phone. So this word here, denounce. I want to get this too before I forget. This is the word denounce.
Denounce.
It reads, it's a publicly declare to be wrong or evil. So similar words say condemn. And we here to condemn the so-called white man. Condemn. Criticize. We're here to criticize. Let's play it.
Condemn.
Condemn.
Criticize.
We're here to criticize the so-called white man. We're here to
attack.
Spiritually attack this bastard from all sides. He did us like that. When you read Psalm 64, it says he shot at us with an arrow secretly, man. Well, we here to criticize and what?
Revile.
We here to revile them. Revile. Criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner. And that's what we here to do. Revile these bastards. Yeah. Look, pour scorn on.
Pour scorn on.
Speak with contempt or mockery of. That's what we here to do. It gives something a bad press. It got bad mouth, slur, slam, blast, pull apart. Look.
Savage.
Savage, especially of a dog or wild animal. Attack ferociously and maul. What's the so-called white man? He's a savage.
Savage.
This nigga said the Indians, the word Indian literally means savage. But them niggas came over here with scurvy. Thinking about this show, thinking about this show. What's the name of the show? I forget right off. Damn it. Hold on. The dude said that's the scurvy talking. What's the name of the show? I forget. Shogun. Yeah. Shogun. That nigga say that's the scurvy talking. The day I eat him out. Listen, man. We here to denounce the so-called white man. Other words, it got here's another one.
Reprobate.
He's a reprobate, man. Express or feel disapproval of. And the Lord disapproved of this bastard, but he put him in power because it was just to mark us, man. But now, here's one of the best ones I think it is. This is Hebrews chapter 12, 16 and 17. Reject. It said he was rejected, though he found no place of repentance. See? And we here to let him know the Lord rejected you, Esau. Discredit.
Discredit.
See? Harm the good reputation of someone or something. And we here to let them know the only reason you was propped up because the Lord said so. But we here to condemn, criticize, and attack the so-called white man spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Yeah. So this is Job 36 and 15. He delivereth the poor in his affliction, and he have spiritually delivered us first and foremost, man. This is a spiritual deliverance. And Lord willing, we'll do it to the end. Yahweh shall come and physically deliver us. by being translated, man, back into those glorious bodies that's mentioned in Corinthians. That's waiting, man. He delivered the poor in his affliction and opened up their ears in oppression. See, the Lord opened our ears in oppression. The so-called white man, when they destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, they took all the artifacts, they took all the paperwork, they took all the scrolls, they took all our information, all our history. They took it all. Because you can best believe when you watch certain movies, they show you, oh, what's this movie? Oh, this guy went to the library of New York. Uh, uh, what's this guy name? Nicolas Cage in the movie. And the guy said, "Man, get me that little black book." And he went to the library and found Esau got all our information that you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians are the Hebrew Israelites, man. They got it. So they thought we got these niggas. What it said in Psalms 83, they're gonna cut off the name of Israel, that we'll be no more a nation. So they're like, okay, we got everything that'll keep them from finding out who they are. But the Lord said in Deuteronomy 32 and 8, I'm gonna rain down my doctrine that's due, and they should distill among the tender herb, which is the elect. So here it is right here. He delivered the poor in his affliction and openeth their ears in oppression. Even so will he have removed thee out of the strait into the broad place. The Lord said he would have had to destroyed our enemies, man, if we had a hearken in Psalms 81. It say right here, even so will he have removed thee out of the strait into the broad place where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on thy table, and that which should be set on thy table should be full of fatness. What's that? Everything that we need for salvation. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. He talking to 2/3 niggas. Judgment and justice, which is the Psalms 89 and 14, is the habitation of the Lord's throne. He say, but thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee, because there is wrath. Beware lest he that take thee away with his stroke, then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. See, that's 2/3, man. The Lord is going to take them away with his stroke, whether it be by the sword, or you getting ate on in Jacob's trouble, or your ass down by an intercontinental ballistic missile, man. But there's a table. There's a table. Even so would he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place where there is no straightness. But the Lord made us go through this for a reason. We had to understand, we had to understand what righteousness and what wickedness is. Because if we didn't know what wickedness is, how would we know? If we only knew what wickedness was, what would righteousness look like to us? How would we know when it came? We wouldn't. Even so, will he have removed thee out of the strait into a broad place where there is no straightness, and that which should be set on thy table should be full of fatness. And that's the truth. And now we see Yahweh Shema Shai is calling, has drawn the whole elect to this table that's full of fatness, man. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. 2/3, Isaiah 28 and 15. They made a covenant with death and they held out their agreement. But thou hast fulfilled the judgment of the wicked. Judgment and justice take hold on thee. Because that's the habitation of the Lord's throne, justice and judgment. Because there is wrath, beware lest he take thee away with his stroke, then a great ransom cannot deliver thee. Remember, the Lord said we shall be redeemed without money. So if the Lord can't redeem you through the blood of Yahweh Shah, then that means you got to get put to death, man. See? It say, verse 19, will he esteem thy riches? No, not gold, nor all the forces of strength. See, desire not the night when people are cut off in their place. We looking for mercy, man. But it's a table. There's a table there, man. The Lord say what should be set on that table should be full of fatness, man. And he's drawing, as I read Jeremiah 31, he's drawing the hopeful elect back to this table that's full of everything that we need. Hebrews 6 and 9. Things that are coming to salvation, though he does speak. This is 1 Corinthians uh 10 and 21. This is 1 Corinthians 21. It reads, you cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai's table and of the table of devils. You can't do it, man. Proverbs 23 and 3. It reads this. You know what happened when you sit at the so-called white man's table? Death, man. It reads Proverbs 23 and 3. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Whose dainties? Whose dainties? The wicked, man. Verse 6 reads, eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meat, his dainty meats. See, you can't sit at the so-called white man's table and serve Yahweh Shema Shai, man. It ain't gonna work. And I got this too. Let me read this from the phone here. This is brother had brought this out last night, man. Fire precept too. Fire precept. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 40. In verse 29, it reads, the life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. And 2/3 of our people, they count on the so-called white man's life, man. I was reading this last night. Isaiah 33 and 6. No, Isaiah 36 and 6. See, the Lord cold, man. Everything that we need is in the scriptures, man. Isaiah 36 and 6, it reads, lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his head and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So if you trust in this man, you're going to be destroyed, man. Jeremiah. Is that Jeremiah 17? Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart departeth from Yahweh. And let me go to this one in Psalms. Is that Psalm 60 and 12? I think it is. It reads, note 11. Give us help. Psalm 60 and 11. Give us help from trouble, for vain emptiness is the help of man. See, and this is why we've been crying. Lamentation 4 and 17, man. We've been crying since when you read in Exodus 2 and 25, the Lord, it said we was crying because of the oppression, man. Can't nobody save us but the Lord. The Lord put us in this situation. In Judges 2 and 14, the Lord say he was hot with us, so he sold us to our enemies, man. So that's what the Lord said was that Isaiah 55, we can't be redeemed with money, man. He said, we shall be redeemed without money. Because in 1 Corinthians 3 and 1 Corinthians 7, we was bought with a price. Lamentations 4 and 17, as for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Let me get this in translation. See, and it says we have watched for a nation that could not save us. And what's this one nation? You got to ask nation. It's talking about the so-called white man. Niggas want the so-called white man to save them, man. NLT, we looked in vain for our allies to come and save us. But we were looking to nations that could not help us. See? We look in vain for our allies to come and save us. We don't got no allies. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikak Wadash, and the Allahayim is our allies, man. That's why I say in Psalms 34 and 7, those that fear Yahweh Shema Shai, our allies, the angels, encampeth around us, man. Yeah. So again, this is Ecclesiasticus 40 and 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. Because this is vain. For he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. See? And this is why Job said this, man. Man, this is a fire precept, man. The fire precept if I ever heard one. Again, Ecclesiastes 40 and 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. And this is what Yahweh Shema Shai is teaching us, not to count on the so-called white man for nothing. The Lord propped them up. The Lord gave you the job you got. You lost a job, you got another one. You lost a whip, you got another one. You lost a rib, you got another one, or not. You lost a husband, you got another one, or not. You lost kids, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. They don't want to talk to you because you following Yahweh Shema Shai and they want to follow Satan. You lost a home, apartment, whatever. Man, listen. Fuck that shit, man. The Lord is training us to be numb. Because when Jacob trouble come, we're gonna have to be a cold ass iceberg, man. Job 23 and 10. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he have tried me, I shall come forth as gold, being put through 4 ways: east, south, north, and west. Lord putting you through adversities and afflictions, trials and tribulations. My foot have held his steps. This is being rooted right here. My foot have held his steps. His way have I kept and not declined. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. So when it said in James 2, if a sister or brother be naked and destitute of daily food, we're going to give you the spiritual food, man. Because Yahweh shall say in Matthew 4 and 4, a man should not live off bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord. This is why Job said this: I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. When you focus on Yahweh Shema Shai, don't you know he gonna feed you, man? When you focused on Yahweh Shema Shai, come on, man, we know this. Look, Job say, verse 13, but he is in one mind, and who can turn him? Or what his soul desireth, even that he doeth. If the Lord with you, he with you. The Lord is with us, man. He show you that every day. He show you through your faith walk through the week when you by yourself. Brothers by themselves, when they ain't at camp. This ain't about when you at camp. This is about when you alone. Are you eating pork behind closed doors? Eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, committing adultery behind closed doors. You know how easy it is to commit adultery? Because there's already somebody somewhere that already want to do something. They want to do something. Yeah, man. But yeah, the Lord got the table prepared for us, man. And everything that we need, it's already there, man. We are spiritually being filled. Matthew 5 and 6 said, blessed are ye that hunger and thirst after righteousness. So we denouncing the food from master, your enemy's table. Again, closing precept. This is a fire precept, man. This is fire, man. Ecclesiasticus 40 and 29. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for life, for he polluteth himself with other men's meat. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. Let me get this. Think about that word nurture. Nurture. Wisdom of Solomon 3 in verse 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. See, verse 9 say, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect. But the ungodly shall perish according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. They don't want to eat at the table. They don't want to eat at the Lord's table. They want to eat from the so-called white man's table. Well, go ahead, man. Because you're gonna wind up dying. Grievous death, man. Same way how the Lord had them jakes in the wilderness to eat that quail till it came out their ears, man. Hey, Lord was edifying. I gotta give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rikak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the bishops and elders, the great minister who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening, learning. Ye few sisters who are listening, learning, throughout tuning in. Till next time, I say shalom. Wa ba ba ba.